Hello, everyone. Hello. My name is Kathy. I'm going to just chat for a couple of minutes here, let some people log in, see if we get a couple others. We're catching people before the dinner hour. It's about a little after 5 o'clock, so some of you may be sitting down to the table and enjoying your evening meal. My name is Kathy. I am a Seint artist, and I am 71 years old. I'm not going to be able to say that much longer. I'll soon be 72. You are seeing me with a bare skin. All I have are my eyebrows done and my mascara. And tonight we are going to do a simple, basic application of Seint. On Mondays, we always do basics. If you're a Seint user and you're watching this either live or on the replay, and you think, I think I could use a review, this is really a great night to do it because many of us have been taught how to apply our product using the dots and the stripe method. And tonight, I'm going to show you how I have started doing mine for blanked out for a little bit, how I've been doing it for probably the last couple of months. And I love it. And I want to share that with you. So if you've been doing dots and stripes, there's nothing wrong with dots and stripes. That's the way we all learn how to do it. Now, why do we have to learn how to put this makeup on? Many of us have been wearing makeup since we were 16. Well, this makeup, the cream makeup, is completely different than anything we've ever used before. It applies differently. We apply less than we ever did. We want to see your skin because this makeup complements your skin. And I know if you're a senior woman and you're watching this, you're thinking, yeah, right. All of my lines and my wrinkles and my redness and all that other stuff. Sincerely, this makeup will complement your skin and your skin tone. You're going to look in the mirror and you are no longer going to see makeup. You're going to see your skin. Our makeup, it comes in these little metal tins and they all fit in a magnetic palette. I'll cover the mirror up here so that you can see it. This particular palette holds 4 colors, and that's what we're going to use tonight. We're going to do 4 colors. This is the basic look. I can show you lots of other things, and I can do all kinds of glamorous looks on you, but most of us just want to get out the door in the morning. We might be running to the local grocery store to pick up something, but we're not doing anything big. We like basics. We like quick. Once you learn how to put this on, you're going to be able to do it in less than 5 minutes. And when I say learn, there's a learning curve. I had a friend from high school who started on the program, I don't know, it's been at least 2 or 3 months. And she said, I had to look at the diagram you sent me. When you get started, I send you a diagram showing you exact placement of where the certain colors go. And that might seem strange to you because you're thinking, well, with my old makeup, all I did was put a color all over. I get that. This is called 3D cream makeup. Why? Because it makes your skin look 3-dimensional. We are going to put colors in certain areas on your face, and we are going to blend them seamlessly. And when you look at your face in the mirror, you're not going to have one flat canvas. You're going to have some color in certain spots. You're going to have shadows in others. In other words, you're going to have the product right where it belongs. Without any further, we are going to get started. Now, I like to teach application with the 3D brush. And the 3D brush is probably our best selling brush. And the reason I like to use this brush is because you can get a light coverage and you can get a medium to a full coverage. And that's the reason I like to show this particular brush. If you're the girl next door and if you like a light coverage every day, you're going to tell me that when you do your color match. And I might recommend the blend brush for you because this is the one that you can swirl on your face and it's going to give you a very, very light to minimal coverage. I have a tendency to use both for different times. This is the brush I like to use when I'm getting ready to go away. Hi, Peggy. When I'm getting ready to go away, I like to do this just to give myself a little bit of touch up throughout from the day if I'm going out in the evening. But for the most part, I use the 3D brush when I am still applying my makeup to this day, and it's probably my favorite brush. I have other brushes that I use, but tonight we are simply going to use the 3D because I want to show you how you get started with this little 4-pan palette. Think of it, your entire face in one palette with one brush. You'll have to add mascara. And if you want to do some eyeshadow, maybe a little bit of eyeshadow. But other than that, you are done. I'm coming to you tonight with a clean face. I did do my eyebrows and I put mascara on. That's it. Oh, and a little bit of lip conditioner because my lips are always dry, especially this time of the year. We are going to start, and we're going to start with the lightest color that I color match you with. And we call our colors that would be foundation, we call them highlights. This is called a brightening highlight, and the reason it's because it's the lightest color in the group. Now, I'm going to take the pointed end. You see that I've got a bunny tail end, kind of rounded, and this one's a little bit more pointed. And I don't ever swipe my product, even if I'm using the other brushes. I tap. You're going to tap. You're going to get your product here. And I'm going to put a little bit on the outside of the corners of my eye. Isn't this one of the areas that we have always applied concealer? Well, what's different about this, I didn't take it underneath my eye. And you do that with concealer. So think about, concealer is very thick. And when you look in the mirror, when you're a mature woman, like me, over 60, I'm over 70, you look in the mirror and all of a sudden, all of the makeup is pooled underneath your eye. Why? Because this is very delicate, but we've got lines and wrinkles underneath there from our years on this earth. And so you want to make sure that when you put it, you only put it on the outside and on the inside. Now, I'm putting a little brightness in the center of my face, center of my forehead, so going down my nose, putting a little bit on my Cupid's bow, a little bit on my chin. Whatever is on here left, I take and put in my creases that are also called jowls. Now, did you see? I didn't do any swiping. I pat in the palette and then I pat on my skin. And I'm going to explain that as we go. I'm going to put that first tin in. Since it's in a metal, this is a magnet. It snaps right in. And you can see that it doesn't come out. Then we're going to go on to the next color. This is the color that I would use all over. This would be your main foundation, either in a bottle or however you used to use it. Now I'm going to flip and I'm going to use this brush. And again, I'm tapping it, picking it up, and just kind of dotting it on my face where I want it. Tapping it, and you're saying, well, how do I know where to put it? That's where the map comes in. Remember that map that my girlfriend said she refers to? Everybody gets a map. You know exactly where the placement of your product goes. Now, if you've been watching videos, you've been watching people do dots and stripes. This is the same thing. It's the same thing. I'm just not doing the dots and stripes. I know where that product goes, and I'm here to teach you where that product goes so you don't have to do the dots and the stripes and look like polka dots. If you want to do that method, you can. I'm going to tell you, I think I have a much better look when I don't do the dots and the stripes. I don't know why, but I graduated to this a couple of months ago, and I love it. Now, I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to put, that's my main highlight. I'm putting that in. And now I'm going to take the bunny end here, and I am going to stipple. Again, you don't see me doing this. Why? because I have placed that product where I want it to be. And if I do this, I'm going to muddy the waters. And I'm just going to carry it all through my face. And I don't want to do that. So I'm being selective on where I put that product. I'm going to flip to the pointed end. And I'm going to take that brightening shade up a little bit. I'm going to work underneath my eye. And again, all I'm doing is swiping that product, stippling it out. And I do occasionally have to look in my side mirror over here so that I can make sure that I am getting it blended out. And I'm going to pick up just a little bit more of the main shade. Why? Because when I look in the mirror, I can see a little bit of my redness. Now, many of us, as we get older, have rosacea. And the reason I'm not basically telling you what colors I'm using is because they're my colors. They may be your colors, but I won't know that until I get a picture. But I like to look at what we're covering up. And since I carry all of my redness through here, I needed a little bit more of my main shade because my main shade is geared to cover the redness. Does that make sense? All right, now we've got a really dark color. Look at that. You're thinking, that doesn't match. You're right, it doesn't. This is the contour. Now, many of us maybe have never worn contour. I certainly never did before. But all of a sudden, when Seint came around, they talked about contour, and it made sense because all of a sudden I thought, I'd love to chisel out my jaw a little bit here. I'd love to show off my cheekbones because they don't show up so much anymore. Guess what? That's what we're going to do. Now, I'm going to take the pointed end of this. Again, look at me. I'm tapping, and I'm going to go up here in my hairline. And I'm just going to let that sit on my forehead while I move to the other areas. Now I'm going to come here. That is right underneath my cheekbone. Your cheekbone will normally start at the top of your ear and it will angle down. And you'll be able to feel it. You can see exactly, you can feel exactly where it is. And I want to bring that down because I want this to look a little bit more chiseled. And notice, I'm still tapping. I'm tapping, I'm not swiping. And there's going to come a time where I'm actually going to press it into the skin. Now, I can also do the same thing down here on my jaw. I stop where the divots are, because that's where the jowls are. I don't want to call attention to those. And I go across my chin, down underneath here. Anything left on my brush, I take down. Let's review. Contour goes on the hard areas of your face. So it goes on your forehead, hard. On your, right underneath your cheekbone, hard. On the jawline, hard. And then we are going to take our finger. This is the one time I use my finger. And I'm going to put a little bit on each side of my nose. And don't freak out if you can't do a straight line because you know what? We're going to fix it with a brush. Now, look at my face. I don't have my contour blended yet, but can you see the brightness towards the center of my face? Why? Because we use that brightening highlight. You can see how this looks different than anything you've ever done before because it's not one shade. So far, we've got 3 shades on our face. Now, the contour is a thicker consistency than anything else that we used. I like to leave it on the skin for just a little bit so that it warms up. Now I'm going to take my brush and I'm again, what? Stippling, right? Coming down here, I'm going to press and then I move it up. You don't want to move it away. You just want to soften it and move it up. On my nose, all I'm doing is softening that line, and I think I've already pretty well blended that. There are my 3 colors. I haven't done lips and I haven't done my cheeks yet. All right. Now, my lip color that I have today is a seasonal color, and it's so pretty. It's called Tango. This is not a color that I would use. I'm just telling you, I would normally not use this, but it looks so pretty on the lips that I've just got to use it. I like to use the smudge brush when I'm applying my lip color, and the reason is probably I can get a little bit more, and truth be told, I can actually do a little bit better with placement with that because my fingers are they just don't work like they did. Now, let's do some cheek color. I'm going to start here, and you're thinking, whoa, that looks bright. Let me tell you something about our colors. This happens to be a gloss. Can you see the shine? The glosses are so forgiving. They look like they're dark. And if any of you have watched my videos before, you know that I love black cherry, and it is black in your palette. Love it. On my cheeks, on my lips, it's probably my #1 best-selling lip color because of that. All right, we're going back to the 3D brush. We're going to the bunny tail end. And again, we are going to soften and move that color. Now, I'm not staying away from my cheek. I'm just not coming in any farther than if I look straight ahead. There's my pupil. I'm not coming in this far. I'm doing it out here, and then I bring it back a little bit. I'm still showing off my cheek, still stippling, and there's our done look. Do I look flat? When you look at my face, does it look flat? Or can you see brightness? Can you see dimension? I want you to know this is where you're getting the 3D. That's the reason placement is so important. I have used 4 colors on my face. And you're thinking, but they're so tiny. But I've also used very little product on my face. Now, you come back with a sponge. And here's where I press it into my skin. You can use the Seint Perfector sponge, which needs to be just slightly dampened. And when I'm not in my bathroom and I'm videoing, this is the sponge that I like to use because it doesn't need to be moistened. And this picks up any excess that I may have on my face, and I can either set it with a setting spray or I can set it with powder. And tonight, I think I'm going to use my setting spray. I'm going to put a couple of squirts in the palm of my hand. Let's use the bunny tail end. And let's just go all over our face. You can feel the dampness. We set this because it is a cream makeup. Your products that you're currently using, if you're not using a cream makeup, they have something, they have a agent in them that makes it set. So you don't necessarily have to use the setting spray. This way you kind of get to control it. I've been very dry lately, and I did have moisturizer on before I started because I wouldn't be able to do this without. And I don't put a lot of setting spray on my face right now because I know my skin and I know that it's going to be a little bit on the dry side. Now, you can also take some powder. You can see I'm a little shiny. And normally I kind of like shiny, but I don't like to look like a glazed donut because in all honesty, on me, when I have too much glisten, it is, I don't know, it makes me look older. It's just, I don't know, it's too moist and dewy. So I like a little bit of moist and dewy, but I don't like a lot of it. I still have some moistness to my face, but I don't have any. I don't have an excess to anything like that. There you go. That is Seint 3D. Here's my palette, all filled out. Here's my brush, all ready to go. And I didn't do dots and stripes. I simply placed the product where it needed to go. I have used so little product doing this method as opposed to doing the dots and the stripes. And I have also noticed that when I have a person who gets started on it, they talk about using a lot, and that's usually one of the biggest areas of concern when you start out. And why is that? Because you're using it like you did your other. You can't imagine that a little bit of product is actually going to cover your entire face, but it does. So it's very long lasting. The highlight color will probably last you anywhere from 3 to 4 months. I would say your main shade, that's the one you're going to use the most, probably 2 to 3 months. Lip colors last forever for me because I'm always changing them. And contour, I can get about 6 months out of a contour. That's very impressive when you consider each one of those tins is $16. $16, that's it. And you break that over the course of 6 months, it's amazing how little you'll spend. And the best news is that I'm not out buying the next best thing anymore. I used to comb the sales. I used to see what they were talking about, and I'd get so excited about it. I don't do that anymore. Why? Because I have found the best product for my mature, almost 72-year-old skin. There you go. Do I have any questions out there? I'm kind of looking to see who's here. If you've got any questions, please jot them below. If you are catching this on the live, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. I appreciate it if you can share my video. That's the way my video gets out there to other people that aren't in my feeds. If you could do that, I would really appreciate that. Also, if you are new to my video and you're possibly watching this on the replay, just comment down below that it's replay. And if you think I'd really like to have a color match, I will put a phone number down in the very first comment, and all you need to do is dial that phone number and type the word match, and I will get in contact with you and we will get your colors matched. What I'm basically going to need is a makeup-free, totally makeup-free photo. I need you looking out a window. I don't want you outside. I want you inside looking out a window. I don't want you in your car, in your bathroom, in front of your makeup mirror. Natural light will be best, and it will also be best if you can show me a little neck and if you have a black top on. I'm telling you, these are all reasons. When we do a color match and we hit the sweet spot, it's because you have given us the very best photo that you can. And so those are some tips. I like to take my phone, hold your phone at arm's length and click it. I'm looking out through a window during the day and take the photo, and you won't believe how great it is. If you would like a color match, I will put the number below, but it is 574-777-7085. Comment the word match, and I'll be in touch with you. Matches come back to you within about 24 hours. I'm very excited. Thank you for stopping. Please comment, share my video. This is a business that I am working hard at getting it started, and I would sincerely appreciate your help. Thanks so much for stopping by. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.